Good evening. All right, function report, back to the function report. This is going to be about question number 7. Do you take care of anyone else, such as wife, husband, children, grandchildren, parents, friend, or other? Yes or no? If yes, for whom do you care and what do you do for them? Okay. This can be a loaded question. If you are a true and true caretaker for somebody, that's very arduous work, arguably, and often full time. So if you're able to do that, it's going to really probably be inconsistent with many otherwise disabling conditions. Not all the time, but it shows a lot of strength, reliability, focus, concentration, all that kind of stuff. So when you answer this question, you have to be careful to not over-exaggerate what a great person you are to your family. Sometimes I see answers where, our care of our families is probably the most important thing in our lives, right? So this question here is not actually a virtue signal opportunity. They're not looking for you to show how nice and wonderful and a great parent or spouse or grandparent you are to take on, caretake for others. Like as a grandparent, you're not going to look like, well, you might look like a martyr if you're caring for your kids' children because they're not pulling up the slack, or if something has happened to them, even though you might be truly a martyr, the point is that is not going to help you. In fact, that can hurt you. So if it is the true that you are raising somebody, a child, because someone's got to, right? You want to be sure to emphasize in the manner what you're not doing. So if it's a teenager, for instance, let's face it, you're not changing diapers. You're probably not making meals. I mean, teenagers can do all that themselves, doing their laundry, cleaning their room, So if you are opting to do those things for an otherwise healthy teenager, it might say a lot about how not disabled you are, because your disabilities are not bad enough to actually have the teenager, wipe himself, so to speak. If it's a baby, and you are 24/7 taking care of a baby, and I know a lot of young parents out there, this is the case. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's no instance when you would be found disabled nonetheless, but I think they take a close look at it, because that is, I mean, I did it for 2 kids. It is a lot of work and a lot of attention. So if you're saying that you have brain fog, unreliability, but you're caring for a baby, it might not appear that way. Now, there are times when someone said, you question someone about it after, and they're like, well, no, my mom lives with me and she does a lot of it. So basically, we're both kind of working together to do it. So when I need to nap and rest, she's doing it, or my sister or my cousin or my teenage child is helping with the baby. That is really, really important. And there is a question down below, number 9, that says, does anyone help care for other people or animals? And that's with addressing whether you care for pets, which is the next question, number 8, after number 7. Not only are you going to want to not over exaggerate how much you do for the children. A lot of times it's moral support and like, get to school, make sure they're up out of bed. Did you do your homework? Hey, there's leftovers, grab some for dinner. And sometimes, yes, you're making some meals for them. Depending, some people can't do that. They use, or if they do, it's prepared foods, stick it in the microwave and heat up the Stouffer's. You want to be sure to, if it's not 24/7 and all by yourself caretaking, You want to make sure that's clear in number 7. So you would say yes, but say, because it says what you do for them, you would want to, not exaggerate what you do for them because you can. It's not a time to virtue signal or, show what a great person you are, because those things don't help you get disability. They just don't. Not at this rate anyway. So I just want you to take better care when you answer number 7, if the shoe fits. There are plenty of people that the answer is no, no, no down the line. They don't have kids. They're not taking care of anybody. They might be married and they all, jointly get through life together. But she doesn't take care of him and he doesn't take care of her per se. Or maybe he does take care of her. Sometimes just because you're married, don't take this to mean like I have to say I take care of my spouse. Sometimes you are the one being taken care of by the other spouse because of your disabilities, because of your difficulties. So give that some thought when you answer number 7. I would be focusing more on what you do physically for them, particularly if you have physical impairments. If all you have is mental impairments, it's going to be tough if you're caring a lot for somebody, because that is a lot of mental work, or reliability at any rate. And the question might be, why can't you reliably show up to a 5th grade job? That's super easy, and low stress. So tread with care there. When the kids are in school, I would mention perhaps when they're home, I make sure they get home from school. So really your on time is, 3 o'clock, to make sure they get home. Then they probably do their own thing anyway. And you're doing whatever you do. So, different ways to look at it, but just read it with an eye towards, you're not trying to be a martyr here. They're trying to find out what you're capable of doing, because it can really translate into a paying job that exists in substantial numbers, which would mean you're not disabled. So, all right. Every question is trying to do that. Find out what you can do. So we need to emphasize what you can't do. All righty. Number 7. And while we're at it, 8 and 9, pretty much. I don't know if I need a separate one for those. We'll figure that out. Bye now.